when someone comes in for a reading, and sure, like, that's why it's important for me before someone books a reading, like, not that I don't mind people just booking cold turkey. Listen, mama's got to pay rent. I got it. But I love people interacting with me because then they can see that I can see them. What I've found is that my gift is that when I connect with someone, I don't necessarily see everything else. I see their soul. In sessions, we peel back those layers, kind of like a rosebud, but instead of forcing the petals out, I kind of sit there and say, hey, you have permission to bloom right now. Like, feel free to take the space. Let me see what it is, so that way we can get you closer to who you want to be instead of who you think you have to keep being.
Hi, I am Donna McDine, and welcome to the Energy of Serenity podcast. Here we unleash empowerment through the power of the word. Join me and my guest as we share stories, tools, and insights to help you feel grounded and aligned. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Energy of Serenity podcast and my special guest today, Nicole Ryan. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So before we get underway of our beautiful conversation today, I wanted to share with the listeners that Nicole Ryan is a beautiful Ignite Souls as a tarot reader who delivers clear, honest readings, a spiritual guide known for readings that cut through the noise and get straight to the point. She blends tarot, psychic insight, and grounded intuition to tell you what you need to know, lovingly, directly, and without wasting your time. Her work is about empowerment, self-trust, and real transformation. Whether in private sessions, live events, or online spaces, she will help you find your way. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful bio.
Thank you.
And I've had the distinct pleasure of knowing you now for several years.
Yes.
And had several readings from you. And beyond the readings, we just have this beautiful, authentic conversation every time we meet. And I just love that we have very intentional conversations and we're cheering each other on.
1,000%.
And to have women in your life that cheer you on is so instrumental.
Oh.
So I really want to get into with our listeners as to the pivotal moments that really shaped your journey to where you are at this time.
Yeah. So
it's a mouthful.
I'll try to keep it short.
No, please give us your insights on your journey.
So actually, what a lot of people don't know about me is that my father had a shop when I was growing up, a metaphysical shop over in Wurtsboro, New York. And I actually had like a tiny tarot deck for the longest time. And that's what I was doing readings. And I tried to play the corporate game. I used to be like an implementation specialist. I was a billing accountant and all those other things. And life just kind of like tanked for me. And I lost everything. I lost everything. I don't share this often, but I had almost a borderline heart attack when I was 29, I believe.
Wow.
Right before I turned 30. And it made me like, I already had like my spiritual awareness and spiritual connection, but they really forced me to like sit down and go like, hey, like, you can't play life like on low ball anymore. You gotta go for the high shots. So it's like high risk, high reward. I started my business. I started doing vending events, and I had to really start betting on myself.
Yes.
So, and then came in where we met, which is I just one day, ended up walking down the street of Warwick, and I ended up meeting Light Club. And it was very serendipitous and beautiful. And I honestly, I don't think I'd be as strong as I was today if I didn't have learned how to not lose everything, but like have a sense of detachment. So that way, and it's a huge, like, what I have a very huge background when it comes to like Catholic, but also Buddhist and a lot of like pagan practices, because I just, like, when I was growing up and when I was younger, I was fascinated with like all different types of faiths. So I was just like reading and taking things on, and it just really shaped me for who I am. I'm like, I like to, like, I jokingly call myself like a spiritual philosopher sometimes, because I'm like, I'm just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I want to see everybody's perspective, because I
Yeah.
just, at the end of it all, like, it's all about love, and I love that.
And it's so true. And I love that you tapped into that, that regardless of what someone's religious background is, if they have a religious background, that it really is, it comes down to love. And not only love for one another, but love for oneself and
Oh
being
my
true to
goodness.
oneself.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you brought that in, because every religion is based on love. And if we can't exert that to our fellow human being and to ourselves, and that faith that we're all here on this journey together,
Mm-hmm.
make the world a better place, then it gets a little disheartening if people aren't trying to find what is their muse, what ignites their soul.
I know. And so, and I believe that, and that's one thing where I'm so grateful that I kind of had that transformative, like, I had it right on my Saturn return. So it's like, so, and for anybody who doesn't know what a Saturn return is, a major pinnacle point. It's when your Pluto just well, Saturn technically and Pluto, reorbit from the time you were born, and it comes every 29 or so years, give or take.
Wow. Wow.
And so it was like the perfect time, but I'm so grateful that I had that, like, losing everything, because it made me realize what was really important, because
Mm,
I was operating in my life for everything I thought I was supposed to be doing,
yeah.
rather than what I truly wanted to be doing. So that's how I kind of incorporated a lot of that into my whys and my values for the why I do the work that I do.
And that's beautiful, because I often call that the conform to society.
Mm.
And as to what is dictated, what's successful, working that 9 to 5 grind, whether that profession that you went into resonates with you or not.
Mm.
And I was reading an interesting book the other day where it was saying that if you truly listen to your soul's purpose, there's going to be different aspects of your daily life. If you're going down a path that you're not supposed to be, where either A, it's a very stressful situation, or it's, in your case, dealing with a health crisis, that it's really sources, spirit, God's way of saying to you, no, take a step back and reevaluate, and please go with what your heart is telling you to do. Literally. And your heart was literally telling you, stop.
Well, and it's so funny, haha, because it's like, so I, every once in a while, I'm on the radio show with Melissa, and this
Yeah.
last, the owner of like Look Curiosity Shop, and this past week, the kind of key terms was talking about when your body is tired of you saying this is fine, and a lot of people were calling with like gallbladder issues. So it was like, so that's a lot of like rooting and grounding and like at the base level not being happy,
Right.
right? And
Yep.
then for me, like, in, oh gosh, so for me, I was also like, one thing I don't really mention too is like, during that time in my life, I was also in an abusive relationship. So like, that was my heart also telling me like, yo, like,
Right.
we're not. And it's very interesting for me to come back in through this journey, because as a medium, and all through the connections and the studies, like, it had to be love. So why was I settling,
Right. Right.
and saying this is okay when it wasn't? So like, and just being able to be that hand extending to anybody who sits across from me is such an absolute blessing.
And I love that you're saying that, don't settle. Don't settle. And your
Yeah.
gut knows whether or not you're settling. However, you need to quiet your mind down and be still, whether it's in prayer, meditation, journaling, to really go inward and listen, like, you know what? Nope, I've had enough. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to get the guidance and help that I need so that I can really do what's best for me and not best for what other people are saying is for me.
Exactly.
And that's hard.
And it's so because I read for so many people, there's sometimes like a collective pocket of not repeat messages, but like kind of like consistent clear themes. And one of my favorite things is I call them I'm gonna say the witch basics. And that's eating enough food, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, because you have to take care of your body so that way your body's not screaming and saying, oh my gosh, we're in survival mode. So that way then you can kind of sort out your heart, sort out your mind. And that's one thing that, and not to get all like systemic about the system, but that is currently society does not support that.
No, absolutely not.
And
society supports being busy 24/7 and not taking that time to rest.
yeah.
And it's just so important that we do take that time to rest. And I know for myself, I grew up in a loving household, but my mom and dad raised 5 kids. Mom worked full time. Dad worked in Manhattan. Mom took care of us all. And every Saturday, cleaned, ironed, you name it on Saturday. Sunday, huge family meal on Sundays. She never really had the opportunity to just be.
Yeah.
To be. And, and that's was her way of giving love and grace to her family. So it's so beautiful now. She's going to be 87 next week to see that she's really taken that time in the last 20, 30 years to take care of herself more. And it's beautiful to see that. And it's great for all her adult children, her grandchildren to see this. And her energy is better because of it.
Oh, and good.
It's beautiful. It may take a long time for someone to realize that, because when you're in the throes of something, you're not even aware sometimes that you're not taking care of yourself. And it's beautiful when people step forward and be like, hey, you know what? Take a break and do something for yourself. And it doesn't have to cost you anything.
If anything, it's a lot cheaper. So it's interesting to talk about that, because I might end up going onto a tangent about manifestation, so just bear with me.
That is great, because that's what I love about these conversations. We go where it needs to go.
So I was having this conversation in one of the readings I was having this past week, where I was talking about how, when you're really indecisive and you try to settle for something, even though it's not exactly what you want, because when you want something exactly, there's like coupons, there's like the line's short, it's easy, like you're in, out, you got it. Yeah. But when you settle and you're like, and that's when you really start like noticing, it's like, you're like, what? You get overcharged or double charged or something like that, because Spirit's like, stop that. Like, stop, stop settling, stop saying this is okay when it's not. So it's just so like, you save so much time and energy when you actually start listening to yourself.
Exactly. And it's amazing, because then if you start listening to yourself and then for whatever reason you get off track on that, you get put back on track pretty quickly. And
that's an understatement.
Like, no, don't let that inner naysayer back in there again. And don't be spending time where your energy doesn't need to be. Very much like what we were talking before we went on air about really focusing on the areas that provide us pure joy and fulfillment. And just because so many other people are focusing on whatever it may be over here, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's great for those people. It resonates for them. But if it doesn't resonate for you, pivot and go to what resonates with you. And when you do that, it's like, when we had that moment before coming on air, it's like, I really feel good about that decision.
Right? And my favorite, like, Spirit loves to come to me through song. So nice. Whenever I have those moments where I'll actively like kind of like take a step back from something, or I kind of like make the right decision to pivot, they'll always play on the radio "Thank You Next" by Ariana Grande.
I love it. I love it.
So, and if there's not music on, like I hear it in my head and they're like, "Thank you, next." And I'm like, okay, heard.
Right, right. And I know for me, the more I acknowledge with gratitude and grace of those signs, the signs come more.
Oh yeah.
And it's just beautiful. It's
And that's
beautiful.
when you start seeing the synchronicities and the numbers, and then it's like you get tapped in, tuned in, turned on,
Right.
and you can't not want to stay in it, and then it makes not being in that, as Sarah Abraham Hicks calls it, the vortex, where it's
Mhm.
like it's kind of the flow, and then when you're not in it, it gets louder and louder and louder.
Yes, it does. It does.
So
And I love that analogy because I know that for whatever, I have a very distinct morning routine. And it involves with eating healthy, starting the day though with a tall glass of room temperature water,
yes.
eating a nice, beautiful, healthy breakfast. Then I get my stretching in. I do some arm curls with light weights, but then I get into my prayer, my meditation, my journaling. If I find I don't do that whole scenario at like 2 days in a row, then I'm feeling off center.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why am I feeling I'm not going in the right direction? Why do I feel like I'm on that hamster wheel? And then when I return back home and I open up my journal, I'm like, oh, okay, because I haven't entered my prayer and my journaling in for 2 or 3 days. And I need to do my prayer, my meditation, my journaling, whatever it may be for you to get you in that zone is just go with it. Go with the flow. And when you don't go with the flow, that's when you get the resistance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think just for people who don't know how to get into it initially, I want to share like a technique because
Oh, beautiful. Please, please do.
I'm the queen of falling out of that and getting back up.
And
Because
Nicole, that's what I love about your honesty, that we all do that. We get out of the mode, but you can always restart again. So
yes.
please share with the listening audience.
So there's a few things. So I always tell people gratitude practice is called a practice, not because you're lying to yourself. Because I don't feel like sometimes when it comes to affirmations, especially when you have, so for me, it's like I have a very intelligent mind. So if I'm sitting there and saying something and it doesn't resonate with me, my mind's combating that like a samurai. Like it's like, doom, 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 no. So one way that I started, actually, this is one that has really been keeping me in the zone. And you saw how I was back in November. I was in a low spot. Like, and I purchased myself a calendar planner.
Nice.
And instead of using it for, I'll use the month parts for like keeping track of my schedule. But on the days I write, I say, you know what, I'm really grateful for like just being able to breathe today, you know,
Beautiful.
and just picking very intentional things that I'm actually grateful for.
Yeah.
And going back into like the manifestation talk, like you, me, our table, this computer, everything's made out of like the same stuff, right? They're atoms, they're shaken at different rates. And that's how that distinguishes everything from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when we practice gratitude, love, like we call those higher vibrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say sometimes anger could be a higher vibration, but I know some people might disagree on that.
Well, yeah, because each emotion is a vibration.
Yeah.
And
but I also like there's productive anger and then there's destructive anger.
Right.
So I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
But so when you do things like gratitude practice, when you're like giving like and saying like I'm so grateful for this, so grateful for that every single day, that starts getting you out of the funk. And then you start, like I started realizing there were like more things I was able to like catch on to and have gratitude for. And it started really pulling me back up to where I'm usually at.
Mm-hmm.
And also a really good dance party for one doesn't hurt anybody.
It's so true because our grandson is 2 now. And when you see him do a dance party, you can't help but get up and do that dance party with him. And that pure enjoyment, it remembers you to bring out the child in you. And
Yes.
who cares if someone's watching? Who cares? Because you know what? It'll change their vibration too. Even if they
Mm-hmm.
don't get up and join in, because you can't help but smile when someone does a dance party. Doesn't matter how old they are. And I love that. And getting the body to move.
Yes.
To move. We're not made to be stagnant. We're made to move. And that raises the vibration. Whether it's exercise, dance, you name it, move your body every day. Even if the severe cold today, do laps in your house. Do a dance party. Get moving. It's
Yeah.
great. And it changes the mental outlook. It really
Yes, it
does.
does.
It really does. So your journey is just so beautiful that you really listened to what your body was telling you, what the universe was telling you. And your readings are so profoundly spot on for people. For you, when you have a sitter with you and you're reading for them and they have that emotional release or they have that aha moment, how does that feel for you when you have provided them this beautiful, safe space that they can be true to themselves?
It's my dharma. It's my soul clicks when it happens. I say this so lovingly, but the days that I don't get to read are like some of the sad days that I have because I love doing it.
Right.
But being able to hold that space and witness that, one, I always tell people it is an absolute honor and a pleasure. It's an absolute honor and a pleasure. I will never take that for granted because it is, one, they're showing the courage to have that level of vulnerability,
Mhm.
to be able to let me witness their soul on such a deep level.
Right.
Because it's not that I can't do it if someone is closed off, but boy, howdy, is it a lot more worth it when someone's walking into a reading ready to hear what they need to hear.
Yes. And oftentimes, do you find that you're confirming what they already know in their deepest soul?
Oh, yeah. And we were talking, again, Melissa and I were talking about this earlier this week, where it's like, by the time a person comes in for a reading, it's because they're ready. It's because
Yes.
they kind of just need to make sure that all the things that I like to say, it's like readings just are pretty much people come in and going, I'm not crazy, right? Like,
Right.
and
And I
nobody
like,
is.
yeah, and I like what you just said because, our intellect as human beings, we oftentimes need to hear that confirmation. Do you feel that people tend to need to hear that confirmation because of the misconceptions of some of society that does not embrace listening to what one should really be doing, whether it be through prayer or messages from spirit, whatever that case may be? How do you feel that those misconceptions kind of teeter people and scare them off a little bit?
What a question. That's amazing. Thank you. That's a good one. I just want to eat that up real quick. So I'm getting so giddy because I'm like, I love these questions, Donna.
Great. And I love how you're being intentional with your thoughts right now, because that's going to lead us into another part of the conversation. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So there, my job, quotation marks, slash privilege slash honor that I get to do is when someone comes in for a reading, and sure, like that's why it's important for me before someone books a reading, like, not that I don't mind people just booking cold turkey. Listen, mama's got to pay rent. I got it. But I love people interacting with me because then they can see that I can see them.
Mhm.
And what I've found is that my gift is that when I connect with someone, I don't necessarily see everything else. I see their soul,
Mm.
which really cute, fun tidbit is when you're dating, it's a little detrimental of a gift. You're like, but I see this like core person. And sometimes, and the cool part too is that in sessions, we peel back those layers.
Mm.
I don't like calling it an onion, mainly because I have a gripe with onions, but but kind of like a rosebud. But instead of forcing the petals out, I kind of sit there and say, hey, you have permission to bloom right now. Like, feel free to take this space. Let me see what it is, so that way we can get you closer to who you want to be instead of who you think you have to keep being.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you're really giving them permission. And it's not denouncing the people around them. It's being true to themselves. So with that, how is your everyday personal life and your professional life the intentional of positive words in your life? And how that really sets those stepping stones to coming out as that beautiful lotus flower and creating what one truly desires.
I am the biggest person about, if I am going to talk my talk, I better walk my walk.
Yes.
So I will, and that's the one reason why I feel like I'm such a, like, the reason why I'm on point with people is because, one, obviously I have that gift, I can see them, but two, like, I might be like 30 something, but I think I've lived enough lifetimes within this one trek. Granted, we could talk about past lives another day, but like having that gift of all these lessons has built me a resilience of positivity and hope that isn't just Hallmark. It is built in, it has been tested through time. And there are days where, and that's where I say, like, my personal life, I set my boundaries. I will not allow myself to overgive. I will sit there and I will stand up for myself because I've lost her before and I'm never losing her again.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Know? And listeners, that goes for you, whether you're male or female, whatever you resonate as, be true to yourself and don't lose yourself. I often tell my daughters, do not allow anyone to dim your light to make them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's important. So I love how you really have these beautiful, nurturing one-on-one sessions. However, though, a little birdie told me that you do group sessions too.
I do. So
can you tell us about that?
So I am officially, like Club Curiosity Shop's traveling oracle.
Woohoo!
Like Club has been a beautiful, amazing family to me. So shout out to them. If you guys are ever in the Hudson Valley area, please check them out. Sorry, I'm totally adding them right now.
That's beautiful because they are in Sugarloaf, New York, and they are in Warwick, New York.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And so pretty much I'm starting to do larger scaled events, parties. We're starting off with like one-on-one parties. So it's like you're still getting like a reading, but we're also advertising for events. So that way, if you have like a prom or a bridal shower or a wedding or anything like that, or any corporate events or stuff like that, and you want to spice it up with, a mentally spicy reader, who tells it like it is, and y'all think y'all ready for that. That's a service that we are providing. We're actually debuting it this month. So, yeah, so it's going to be, it's going to be live by the time that this is out too. So
excellent. Beautiful. I love that because it really provides people an additional opportunity to engage with you where necessarily they may not be in the area, but all of a sudden they find themselves being in the area because they're going to a friend event or a family event. And it's a beautiful other additional way of connecting. I love that. And it's in their location.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't feel like they have to do something else to get there. So it's beautiful.
And so there's a few things. So one, I always like my family jokes, I've got my little table because I always have this fold up poker table that I bring with me because that's my reading table.
Right.
And I have got like my crystal grid and everything like that. So I always tell people, I'm like, I need 2 chairs and a little bit of like a quieter space, and I'm like, we're ready to go. Even if
Yeah.
it's not quiet, you've experienced me in person, you know how loud I am. And she's got a healthy throat chakra. And but it's one of my favorite things is, so for example, like last night I did like an event, and the initial number was a lot lower, and then it's like, as people are coming out of the readings, there's more people who are like, I kind of want to sign up. Like, is she going to be cool with it? And I'm like, yeah, bring it on. Like, I'm not going to say no. It's a great time. I love what I do. So
And it's beautiful, because I know for myself, when you see someone go in for a reading and you see them come back out, it's very much like energy healing. They're lighter. There's a spring in their step, and they're really applauding themselves that, you know what, I'm glad I took this step to gain more clarity and confirmation what they already innately knew.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I love your approach. I love your openness to people and your warmth. I know for myself, if anyone has the opportunity to engage with Nicole, her energy will just rise you up just with the conversation as well. Before we close out, Nicole, I would love for you to share with the listeners how they can connect with you. I know you are the resident reader at the Light Club Curiosity Shop in Warwick, New York, but how else may they engage with you?
So I'm a witch with many hats. So obviously I'm the Light Club Curiosity Shop. I'm there Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I do the traveling events, usually over the weekends or anything like that. On social media, I'm the Guiding Arrow on most social media platforms. And then this is a nice little like new one. I'm working on the Goddess Ignites, and this is a YouTube channel for me for those days where I don't have as many readings. I just kind of throw readings on there, and they're kind of like long form. So it's like, if you need a really quick pick me up or a lecture, I highly recommend just like checking that out, because it's not like, it's not a brand new project. I've been kind of like throwing videos on there every once in a while, pick-a-piles and stuff like that. And but yeah, so if you need quick pockets of sunshine, the Guiding Arrow, because there's quick readings on there and videos. And then I highly recommend obviously a one-person one-on-one, because you get all this concentrated right at you.
Yes, exactly. And it's just such a beautiful way to make a deeper connection.
Yeah.
And I love that. And your loving grace is evident from the moment someone connects with you. And I really hope that the listeners of the Energy Serenity podcast take that to heart and really go connect with Nicole on social media or at the shop. So Nicole, thank you, with my deepest gratitude for you joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Blessed be to you.
Blessed be.
Thank you for joining me on Energy is Serenity. I appreciate you taking the time to explore the power of the word, mindfulness, and calming practices with me. If today's episode resonated, please subscribe and consider leaving a review. Until next time, may your energy be serene and your words be empowered. Namaste.